Hello everybody and welcome to Letterbox Book Club. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today we'll be discussing the most anticipated books of like 2022, late 2022 and even now. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace.
Woohoo! Alright.
Kicking off with a blurb, please, Kenzie.
Right away, yeah, with the blurb. Anastasia Allen has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA, a competitive figure skater since she was 5 years old, a full college scholarship thanks to her place on the Maple Hill skating team, and a schedule that would make even the most driven person weep. Stassie comes to win. No exceptions. Nathan Hawkins has never had a problem he couldn't solve. As captain of the Maple Hills Titans, he knows the responsibility of keeping the hockey team on the ice rests on his shoulders. When a misunderstanding results in two teams sharing a rink and Anastasia's partner gets hurt in the aftermath, Nate finds himself swapping his stick for tights and one scary coach for an even scarier one. The pair finds themselves stuck together in more ways than one, but it's fine because Anastasia doesn't even like hockey players, right?
Oh, that's it.
That's
okay.
it.
Sorry. I thought it sounded like there's going to be a bit more.
bonus chapters.
What? We're going to have to read that after.
Yeah.
Anyway, thoughts, feelings, emotions, Kenzie.
I love this book so freaking much. First off, I was a little bit worried.
Okay, what were you worried about?
Hang on, I'm dying.
As per usual, like it's going to be a good episode.
Okay, first off, I was worried because it has this cutesy little YA cover, which I've seen TikToks on, and then I heard that like it's a bit smutty, and I was like, is it going to be just like smut?
Okay, just like a smart
Instead
book.
of plot, yeah. Is it going to be Silver Flames, but YA and modern?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that. It's very, I think we've said this phrase before, and we will say it a lot, but it's a very well-rounded book. I don't have qualms.
Oh, first time in a while.
Yeah, I don't have any qualms. I don't think there's some might come up,
Maybe as we talk.
but not at the forefront of my mind. There are no qualms.
Nothing irritated you or annoyed you at all. No,
No.
But which is fine.
No, like, I mean, there was like things in the plot that I was like, that's a shit thing, but it wasn't.
But it's meant to make you feel like
Yeah,
it's
meant to
frustrating
make-
and annoying.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I get it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It was a well-rounded book. I would say because you described it as a YA, but they're in college, so it's very much
I
like
think it's
new adult.
Yeah.
Is new adult even technically a new term now, or is
I
it
think
just?
so. I think it is a new term.
But yeah, definitely. Yeah, new adult. It's mature. I love the different like conversations and issues that come up and that's solved, and like it's talked about respectfully and kind of like safely.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about those issues in a minute. I suppose maybe trigger warning for like eating disorders if that really ticks people off.
Yeah.
Or not too. That's not a good way to put it, but if that's like kind of something you can't handle, feel free to click away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but it's not like extreme, which is good, which is probably what will come up later on as we're discussing. But yeah, and like the characters are all pretty chill, apart from like the villain, Aaron.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Aaron. I just had a blank space.
I'll write your name.
But yeah, but yeah, and it's just I suppose the way they talk about like sex and like the sex culture of like college students as well. It's like it just seems very mature and very respectful and like it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's also like I don't feel like I'm reading something unrealistic. Like I feel like this could be real. Like I could have.
As we say, like it's a fictional book, but like in a modern, like in the real world, it seems like a very plausible situation and like believable, and everyone's like mature, and there's no like real bitchiness other than again towards Aaron because he's being a dickhead.
Yeah,
but
like everyone kind of just like felt like my friends. Like
yeah, I know. Like and everyone like the friendships, especially with Anastasia and the hockey guys, like it seemed like an organic kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Although it started off, with the whimsical of like, oh, he lied to me to protect his teammate, about the whole ice rink thing. It's like, I mean, it's like a bit of a stretch to like start off there, but no, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Would you see a hockey game now? I know. That's another thing that I liked. It's like I was going in there expecting it to almost be like, all right, there's going to be heavy descriptions of hockey. Yeah, and it's something that like I've watched hockey before. When the like Winter Olympics are on, like I'll watch it. Like I don't really understand like the fouling systems or anything, but like I have a grasp idea of what it's about, and I do enjoy it. But yeah, I was just very happy that there wasn't
same with
intense
the ice skating. Like I thought that'd be like, and now we're doing a triple Lutz or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so, I haven't even looked up what a triple Lutz is, but like even like when she's describing it to like Nate, well, he's trying to be her partner and stuff. It gives me a good idea of like what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, again, would you go see a hockey game now?
Yes.
I think Melbourne does like exhibition games and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean yes.
I
But
don't know if
also,
they're
like,
even
triggered
is.
because of that person.
That
we
person.
know that
Oh
used
yeah.
to
Oh
play,
yeah. I know the one. I know the one. Yeah, all good. Fair enough. But yeah, cool. Very well rounded. I enjoyed it. And like the characters in terms of like I suppose their sex life, they can get pretty freaky, which is like a fun element to
But
add.
also like we'll get into it, but like consent king.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, we love it. So yeah, I suppose into the plot now. If we're all happy.
Sorry, my eyes are so sore.
That's okay. The story kicks off with Anastasia, who is a ice skater.
Figure skater.
Figure skater, that's right. And yeah, she's just going through about her kind of college experience, and then conversely, Nathan Hawkins, who is the captain of the hockey team, he is conversely going through his college experience. It is dual pov, yes. He is in his last year of college.
Yeah, he's a senior.
And Stassie is 2 years? 1 year?
A junior, yeah.
Look, the American system, it fucks me
4
up.
years. You're same as high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. And it just follows their kind of, college experience. One of the early plot drivers later on is like the hockey ice skating rink has been vandalized and damaged quite severely, that they have to share a hockey rink. I thought that was going to be like the main
same
plot point. I'm like, this is so weird.
Was going to be responsible.
Yeah, and I thought if they're going to string this on for another 400 odd pages, like I don't know what's going to happen. But no, that's always fun kind of getting them together. I like those sort of moments, whether it be like enemies to lovers. It's like that close proximity vibe, but like sharing.
I liked that it wasn't just like, I don't like you, I don't want to hang out with you, I don't want to share a hockey rink. It was just like, I just don't like hockey players. Like,
it's fair.
And it wasn't an artificial kind of block.
Yeah, I think
kind of obstacle that they had to overcome. It was just like, fuck
yeah, I think there's like maybe a media stereotype in like TV shows and movies where like hockey players and just figure skaters and all that just seemingly just don't get along. There's always that kind of beef of who's like the better skater.
Yeah, and like Stassie was just like, she's like, I don't like you because I'm annoyed that now this cuts into like my schedule and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they're well into their competition season, and Stassie is focusing on finishing off or competing well in sectionals, then nationals, because her goal is to ultimately be an Olympic figure skater with her skating partner Aaron Carlisle, who is rich as fuck and has divorced parents, which probably leads on to all of his issues that we figure out later on.
His dad cheated on his mum.
Yes.
But it very much gives off mummy and daddy pay for all my things.
Everything is easier when you're rich. Same with Nate to a degree, because his father pays for everything.
But he has an odd relationship with his father. Yeah. Strained, if you will.
Very strained.
Yes.
And then just to throw other characters out there that will get an honourable mention, perhaps, we have Lola, who is Anastasia's best friend. She's in the performing arts. We have Aubrey Brady, which is the Stassie's skating coach, and she's giving off like Russian, because we know how intense Russian like ice figure skating coaches and like figure skaters are. They're very talented, and I'm sure they're very strict on that whole process. We have Ryan Rothwell, which is pretty much Stassie's fuck buddy / best friend.
I want to talk about that.
We will talk about that relationship later on, because it's quite beautiful. And I think maybe Olivia Abbott, who is at Performing Arts, I think Ryan dated her for a little bit in the book. Yes. That's where I got Olivia from when I fucked up. But yeah, I think she has no real kind of relevance to anything. And then we have some of the hockey guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a myriad of hockey guys.
Yeah, we've got like JJ, we've got Robbie. Who is...
Bless my soul.
Yeah, he's a fine fella. Yeah. We have Russ, we have Henry. I think maybe a couple of others that like pop up, but they're kind of like the main group, as well as Nate himself. And yeah, in terms of characters, that's pretty much it. And yeah, so the plot kicks off with the hockey rink being damaged and destroyed, and Nate taking the fall.
Yes, because they're looming over their head is like the dean of the college, and he's pretty much like, like someone has to take the fall, or like
the whole team's benched.
The season.
Yeah, and of course Nate being the honourable captain. Actually, before I get into it real quick, I thought Nate's character was going to be completely different.
Yep.
His first chapter really worried me, because it's like, he woke up, fuckboy attitude, this woman, there's like a woman holding onto my dick right now. Yeah. I'm like, what in the Cooper Hartley is happening here? So I got really worried, but then he just develops into like a nice sweetheart, and he's there for his team. He just wants to get by. He loves very deeply.
I was also worried about Stassie because I was like, oh, like a figure skater, like bitchy attitude or whatever, like skinny. I was just like,
Queen.
Yeah, I thought that I was going to have a really hard time.
Like uptight attitude as well.
I thought that she would be like Mackenzie Cabot.
Oh yeah. This was giving me good girl complex, but like it's better than good girl complex. It's what good girl complex could have been and should have been, but no. But yeah, and you think of like figure skater, you think of like very strict and like maybe even a sanctimonious type of attitude, I guess. But no, she's just like a college student living the life.
Okay, I want to talk about Ryan, and I was going to say Mackenzie.
You wish.
Ryan and Stassie. No, so off the bat, they are fuck buddies, I guess, friends with benefiters.
They're really, it's established early on as well.
But I feel like it's very healthy. Like they have boundaries. I don't think either of them yet really have feelings for each other.
It's a very mature experience.
Yeah. And then he, just becomes like her best friend really in the end.
I thought it was going to be like be an issue because there's always an issue with like the fuck buddy either developing feelings or like, because obviously Stassie and Nate end up dating and becoming exclusive with each other.
Yes.
Like there was always going to be like hint of jealousy for like the drama, even though Nate did express jealousy.
It's like thrown in a few times as well. Like the other hockey guys, like, oh, like did you know like she's been like dating Ryan or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You can talk louder, it's fine.
I don't want to.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, sorry. And I'm just going to glue it to the microphone. Anyway. Yes, so moving on.
But just on that conversation, like all the characters talk about like their sexual relationships openly and again with respect, and there's no real slut shaming. But again, the only slut shaming is coming from Aaron.
Yes.
But like it's also respectful and refreshing because it's like there's like hardly any miscommunication about it. It's just so fun and refreshing.
Just quickly as well touch on the Robbie as well.
The Robbie rep.
The Robbie, yeah, because he is in a wheelchair.
Yep.
So like a rep, and then Lola ends up with him, and like it's just not an issue. Yeah. Like, and it's so refreshing to see that. Like, and I think this is kind of what we have been talking about like previously, in that it's okay to add the diversity into your book, but if you don't have like that experience firsthand, then just don't expand upon it. So I think that was done really well in that she's like, okay, here's the representation, and here's just this really refreshing, wholesome love story that has organically come out of this situation. That's not a big deal. Yeah, no, because if it would have been made a big deal if like the teammates were making jokes like, oh, like how does Robbie and Lola have sex, or do all that type of shit as well, like that would have been more of an issue. But the fact that they're just like, they're almost like love at first sight, and it's lovely. And it's good to have that rep as well, and like they're not that we're not like honing in on like his injury and like how it affects him in his daily life. Like he's a successful assistant coach. He bullies Nate and all that type of stuff. Like gentle bullying. But yeah, like as a best friend should. Yeah, and banter. Like he's just a cool character, and I think they do dive into a little bit of like his accident and how it happened at Nate's father's ski resort. And there was a bit of like a legal battle, but like nothing really came of it. Yeah, and then like Nate's father like paid for the medical bills or something. It was either like a sue or just like pay for the bills and stuff. And like, but they're like tight families, friendships and as well. So it's like, and also it's kind of like he probably had to give up his hockey career, but then he became the assistant coach, which is really good. So. Yeah, and like even Nate comments like he's a fantastic like assistant coach and would make a great coach like in the future when he eventually leaves college and that as well. Let's talk about like plot sort of, I don't know, I mean we kind of are, but Aaron almost immediately in like training sessions, Aaron kind of at first subtly makes comments on Stassie's weight because there is a lift in their routine and he struggles to lift her. He grunts, makes it emphasizes. Yeah. So off the bat, I knew it's going to be an issue. Especially when Ryan would talk to Stassie, he'd be like, oh, is Aaron controlling like what you eat or stuff like that? I'm like, there it is. Yes. Oop, there it is. And then I'll just get into it. So it is found out that Aaron writes their meal plans, and Nate, who did you say Ryan? Yeah, because Ryan would also... Ryan gets annoyed at Stassie for Aaron being controlling. Sorry, I was so confused for a minute. Yeah, like Ryan, comments on it, but doesn't really go further.
He doesn't probe.
Yeah, Nate probes. Anyway, and then, so it finds out that Aaron writes their meal plan, and he is significantly not meeting Stassie's body's needs in her meal plan, nutritional needs. And I can't remember who brings it up, but I think it's Nate who says, well, I see Aaron, like, bench press more than your weight easily in the gym.
Oh no, she says that to him.
Oh, she says that to him.
She's like, you're like, you bench press more than I weigh. Like, why are you grunting? You should be able to lift me. But like, it was such a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So also, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it benefits him as well going to the Olympics and doing everything. But then, I guess that last performance where he kisses her, and again, that's that revolution of, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
He is just a jealous little bitch.
Yeah. I think because Nate, he's already signed to being a professional hockey player for Vancouver, and he, of course, you need like an actual kind of degree, so he's studying sports nutrition or sports science equivalent. So he in turn overlooks like Aaron's eating plan, meal plans, and he tells Stassie that like he is severely like making you undereat and all that type of stuff. And it's actually just a good like evolution throughout this entire book as well. Like her
relationship with food.
Yeah, her relationship with food is like probably what the best storyline out of this as well. Yeah. Because she would always be scared of like even eating a burger, but like now she's having cooking lessons and like eating all sorts.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was
so
cute.
Stuff. Just while we're still on the like eating disorder topic.
Yeah, they're I guess montages of the cooking lessons with the boys, and then cooking family dinner style for all the boys in the hockey house. I thought that was good, and I think that's a great way to like overcome food issues, is to get involved and see it and make it and be proud of what you're making. Be in charge of it,
take control. Yeah. But also at the same time we see a sort of parallel, because when Stassie and Nate are meeting Nate's dad, I forget his name, Ian,
probably something like that.
Yeah, and like they're at a restaurant and Sasha, Nate's sister's there, and he's telling her to not eat a burger. Yeah, because she's a skier. Because she's a skier, and she also has a competition coming up. And then Stassie takes this opportunity to like stick up for herself and be like, well, I have a competition this week and I'm eating a fucking burger, so like they should do it too. I just love that sort of like parallel where she's able to in a moment stand up for herself despite overcoming. Just that whole storyline was just, I think, beautiful, subtle, and it's not to the extremity of her like having like any other sorts of like eating disorder issues. Like it's not like bulimia or like anorexia. She's not starving herself. She understands that she's like an athlete and like she knows what she needs to do, but it's just like to not be scared to have like weight fluctuations. I can't remember
because you've read it much more recently than I have, and I was going to try and do a reread, but life. Was it ever explained why the coach hadn't seen their meal plans?
I don't know. I did a bit of skimming, but I don't think so.
Because surely that's a coach thing.
Maybe it's just a trust in the partner thing. Like, because a big thing about Stassie and Aaron's relationship, I suppose we can segue into that now in a way, like, because they live together,
in the apartment that Nate's dad pays for.
Aaron's dad pays for. Like, because they've defined themselves as like a one-unit partnership, and like they're willing to do whatever it takes in order to achieve their dreams of representing USA in the Olympics. So if that means living together, doing all this thing together, I think because I think she comments he's a far better skater kind of than her, so she probably trusts his judgment. Yeah. Also, this is going to come up later, but I'd like to point out that Stassie is adopted. Yes, of course. We love that rep. Love that rep. So maybe she trusts his judgment more. Yeah. And maybe because ultimately he's the one lifting. Like, I say this with the biggest eye roll. He's the one lifting her, and he would know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the intricacies of figure skating and competitiveness and whatever, but I would think that if you can't lift your partner, then that's on you. Yes. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, this is a you issue, sir. Yeah, like you need to bulk up. Yeah. And then like full circle, she brings that up in like one of the last scenes before their big tournament, big competition. It's like, you bench press this amount of weight, I'm less than that. Like, if you can't lift me, then that's on you. That's on you. Yeah.
a big thing as well is Aaron is a lot of a slut shamer.
Yeah, he's a cunt.
And we do not take these vibes into 2023. No. We left these vibes in 2020.
That's what I was going to ask in our wrap. I was going to be like, what are we going to leave behind in 2022? But I forgot to bring it up. Oh, well.
I mean, honestly, we should have left that behind in 2014. But here we are.
Slut shaming in 2014. Yeah. Yeah, Aaron is just... His character, he's just a nasty person. And it's like... He needs her more than as well as she needs him in order to succeed in their like Olympic dreams. It's like, can you not just keep your mouth shut for like 2 years?
I think forgive me if I'm going off a segue and like too personal, and I don't care if you leave this in, but I'm a huge advocate of this. I hate the concept of slut shaming, and I always have, and I hate girls who. I don't like promiscuous shouldn't even be like a bad word anymore. Like, it shouldn't have negative connotation.
That's why I choose to say promiscuous instead of like sleeping around. Because sleeping around. Choose to have
a promiscuous lifestyle, like good on them. Like I've always been a firm believer that, and it's true that sexual health is very closely related to mental health.
It's like a human need as well.
Yeah,
like
and growing up and in high school especially, I kissed a lot of boys. Mm-hmm. Not a lot more, but anyway. And then that's fine. And then I was very much slut shamed, even by my own circle of friends. And I think back then it's something that you just accepted. You're like, okay, whatever, and then you like tried to kind of own it. But like now, as I've grown as a human being, and it's nearly 10 years later, it's like that's so fucked up. Yeah.
I think also not justifying anything, but it's like maybe when you're young, like kissing is like the be all end all of like the sexual experience. It's like, oh, you kiss a lot of people, so it's the assumption.
And so like, oh, you get around, like and it's like, no, I'm exploring myself and my identity, and I am using my body as a vessel to explore what feels good
and what you like and who you like and
and I'm glad I did that as a teenager, because now as an adult, like I have these fully formed, like I know what I like and I know what I don't like, and that's fine. And then I know people who have had very toxic, I guess, relationships with themselves because they don't know how to have these like normal experiences outside of a relationship, and like even in a relationship, like they don't know how to function. So
very nice.
So Aaron is a bitch.
Yeah, he is. And like even like Stassie, like she hooks up with Nate before being in a relationship, and I think there's maybe even a moment where she does hook up with Ryan at an intermediate time between her and Nate, but that's just because she's
and it's just not the college experience either. And again, it does boil down to just Aaron's being jealous, but again, we can go back to communication. If you had just communicated to Stassie, hey, I have feelings for you,
but I suppose we can just get like the whole Aaron stuff kind of out of the way. So like he has a very severe projected feelings onto Stassie. So his father cheated on his mother and got the girl pregnant, and I think he described her as their age, so like 22, 23, 24. I wasn't sure of what the specifics were. But I was thinking if they go to college at 18, they'd be like 21, 22. Yeah,
21, 22.
Maybe.
But again, is that not the quintessential midlife crisis?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. But it seems like a lot of dads in this world are fucked up. Anyway. But and so, like, as in like an apology, because he's a rich guy, he just gives Aaron whatever he wants. Because like, I made a specific note that he has a G-Wagon. Yeah. A la Shane Dawson and all that back in the day, like the pink G-Wagon. Yeah. And so, I suppose Aaron, in a way, is very, like, rich lifestyle, and he's very kind of entitled in a way.
And I think, things like this can go two ways, being, rich, I guess, or, having access to money. And, you can either become the entitled asshole or just be humble about it.
Yeah, or just be like, just accept life as it comes. But, and
except I'm very lucky in life. This is great.
But a lot of the things that Aaron says about Stassie, I wrote this down. One of like the boiling points, I guess, because he would slut shame her to be like, "Oh, you're sleeping around with Ryan. Don't listen to Ryan."
The hockey team or whatever.
And it's like, don't get pregnant and whatever. Is all like he says to her or about her that she finds out later on. No one would be able to love you because how could they when your own parents couldn't? And the ones who bought you only want to fill up their trophy cabinet and stuff. Like, that is fucking harsh. I mean, as an author, like, damn, like, to write that line for the villain,
okay?
like, God fucking damn it. But yeah, like, that's insane. And he also said that, like, she just wanted to trap Nate into a baby. Into a baby scenario situation. I'm like, fucking hell. But that's because again, the projection, he probably assumed that's what, like, his father's mistress probably did to him. Yeah. So yeah, that's fucked up. But then Aaron gets his dues. I would like to hear the story. But yeah, and then obviously throughout the book, Aaron is a real villain because he gets, like, injured, and then he declares that he was attacked by
the hockey players.
By the hockey players, and again, Nate takes another fall, which means, but the punishment is that Nate can't play for as long as Aaron can't skate. Yeah. Which, in any sort of punishment, I think it's, even though Nate didn't do it, it's like a fair kind of punishment in any sort of situation.
But then, also, so that leaves Stassie without a skating partner. So Nate is like, you know what? I'll step in. I'll train with you.
I thought he was going to, like, be the one to compete with her at the sectionals. And I'm like, dude, 8 weeks is not enough time for you to prep. I don't care, like, how fit.
And then I didn't know if there was, like, a contingency, because I know when I played sport, it was like, if you had to play at least, like, 8 games out of the season before you could compete in the grand final, and, like, if you didn't, and I think we had a player, and, like, our team did, I think, like, another team as well did in the grand final, and they're like, you've not played 8 games, get off the field. Oh,
Jesus Christ, that's rough. I know for bowling for our season, it's like, if you haven't played more than 50% of the season, you can't get, like, your prize money at the end of the year. It's just to stop new people, I guess, from coming in, like, so late and, like, getting some cash out of it, I guess. But yeah, I suppose each team to their own rules. But yeah, I'm kind of glad it was like a realistic approach. Like, he's there just to help her train and to, like, help her stay fit while Aaron is recovering.
And then I think, I can't even remember how...
I mean, we're probably jumping ahead, but that's all right.
Is it a party where they first hook up?
I think so. I'm not sure. But there is a party, and, like, Aaron does cause a fight. Yeah.
Oh, it's also really cute. One of the hockey boys has, like, a girl things kind of box in his bathroom.
I probably missed it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, where he has, like...
Is it Henry?
Henry, I think, has, like, tampons and shampoos and soaps and stuff, like, or if he has, like, a lady friend stay over or something. So, like, Nate first, like, steals stuff from there,
it was from Henry.
Eventually, has his own, like, stuff. Box of stuff for Stassie.
Yeah, no, Henry's an absolute sweetheart. I think he's a junior or a sophomore, one of the two. But I think he still has 2 years, so a sophomore.
Yep.
And, like, he develops a nice kind of, like, relationship with Stassie. They always joke that, like, if Nate doesn't work out, she'll just move on to Henry, which is a funny joke. Yeah. Like, they can have that banter, and everyone says, like, oh, careful, Henry's going to steal your girl.
And she does, I think, wear his jersey to a Halloween party.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, and then Nate franks.
Or was it JJ? It was JJ.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you doing wearing his name on your bag? Like, and I love...
It's fun banter, and it's not super possessive, like, how take it off. Like, I love how Nate is not, like, the macho alpha male, like, toxic masculinity of a man. Like, I'm the captain, you listen to me, you do as I say. But he's a really good leader.
That not trope, but, like, storyline, I guess, of wearing, like, the jersey number or the
I'll say the trope. Yeah, I like it. Okay, or just, like, the quirk of it. Like, I like it.
It's also, like, in high school when you have your year 12 jumpers and then you would wear your boyfriend's year 12 jumper. Like, cute.
Yeah, I get that vibe.
Also, did I tell you, this is fun, you can leave this in, that, like, one of my, like, ex-boyfriends from high school, like, asked someone else and was like, do you know if Mackenzie still has my year 12 jumper?
I think you've told me this before.
Yeah, and I was like, no, you fuckhead. I don't have your jumper.
Like 10 years later.
And I'm like, even if I did, I would have thrown it out. I was like, what the fuck?
Such a really obscure thing to bring up. Quickly on JJ, pansexual representation. We love it.
Stand.
I think he ends up with, like, a semi-serious boyfriend at the end of it, which is cool. We stand. And again, like, just no toxic masculinity at all. And Nate's just, like, a sweetheart to his hockey mates. Like, he's trying to look after everybody, and he's, keeping an eye out on Russ, because I think he's the one that has, like, a troubled home life. See, I thought he was going to be the one who, like, assaulted Aaron. But also, just in general, like, I was getting worried towards the end of the book, and we hadn't realised, like, what happened to Aaron.
Yeah.
Like, and, like...
I was just like, is this going to be, like, Nate did it? And,
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
one of the main, I suppose, plot points in this book is Aaron, or I don't know if I'm going to go too far ahead according to my notes. There is a moment where Aaron and Stassie are at sectionals, and Aaron drops her. Yes. But he drops her, but it's described as her, like, she doesn't, like, fall to the ground hard. She kind of lands on him.
Yeah. But she
and this
hit
is
her head
yeah,
or something.
And this is after, I think, Aaron came back from a 2-week interval recovery period for his, like, wrist and stuff. So he obviously was not 100% fit. But what I say about sports is, like, because I know with AFL and stuff, there's a lot of discourse about players carrying injuries into the games. But, like, once you cross that line, you are 100% fit.
Yeah.
So... But yeah, so Aaron drops her. She has like a bit of a head injury, concussion, all that type of stuff. Everybody's worried. Fun, cute, fluff domestic moments. Just other kind of relationship developmental things. They have some chats at like Robbie's birthday party. I think that was like one of the first main events that they kind of get invited to from the hockey guys, or a party that the hockey guys have hosted. And from what I remember of this, Nate eats out Anastasia somewhere in a room or whatever. And it was, I think, because she said something about a guy being on his knees for her or something. And it was just like steamy. It was great.
I think this is also very much one of those he fell first but she fell harder.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of times as well where Stassie moves in to the frat house because Aaron's a dick.
Yeah.
And that's fun. And then they're playing happy families.
Yeah, they like to say that they're pretending. Can we play house and pretend?
Yeah. I think also there's a few times when they're also like, the smut is excellently written. Yeah. Like, it's not too smutty, it's not too descriptive. Yeah. But it's also just enough. But also, and we love this, and I think it's becoming more of a thing now in books, that the consent is very much highlighted. And I think
very emphasized.
I don't know, like, Nate at one point, I don't know if it's this book or another book that I read, but like, I think he specifically says like, I need you to I need to hear you say yes.
I feel like that was a sentence that he said. Yeah. And I think also because there are moments when they're drunk and they get pretty horny when they're drunk, and I think one of them's sober. I think it could be Nate, or it could even be Stassie, or both of them must have had a moment. It's like, you can't do anything when you're drunk, like just go to sleep, you know, kind of, and it's really nice and refreshing. Yeah. I have a fun question for you.
Yes.
Speaking of like sex.
Yes, I love sex.
The Uber sex scene.
Oh my god, I was literally about to say, let's talk about the Uber sex scene.
First of all,
this is not your car.
I'm trying to figure out the positioning. So like, the descriptions are wild.
Like a van kind of vibe.
Yeah, like a 7-seater.
Yeah, like a 7-seater. So I'm thinking they were in the backpack.
Yeah, just them two in the backpack. Yeah. Okay. Because like, I thought they'd have people like right next to each other.
Yeah, no.
Because I know like a couple of guys are in the front. And it's like Lola and somebody else probably in the middle, and then them at the back. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's just opened my mind to like, how they could have gotten away with this.
First of all, yes.
That is so funny.
But second of all, no, because that's not your car.
It's not your car.
Yeah, and it's just like all your friends are there, and like
it's weird. Yeah. Look, I didn't appreciate. I'm like, this is such a weird scene. Like, how can they get away with this?
Yeah, I was just like, no, thank you.
But I suppose it helps when all the friends are drunk because they're coming home from like a club or something. Yeah. It's just logistically, it was, because I probably skimmed through the descriptions, I thought, they were very close, compact together. And so I thought, how are they doing this? Backpack. That makes more sense. Yeah. But then, like, I think someone made a comment, it's like, it smells like sex in here or something like that. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, I mean, I understand being bold and adventurous and, like, spontaneous, but, like, not with your friends in the car. Yeah. As a victim of people who have had sex in the same room as them too many times, I do not appreciate it.
I have never had sex in a room where someone else is because I'm respectful.
Must be nice.
I'm respectful. And I don't think I've ever been in a room.
It's either happened twice or 3 times. It's too
like
many times.
$1 for every time, and it's weird that it's not that many, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
I think it's 3 times. But yeah. Oh my god, fucking hell.
So that's fun.
Yeah. Didn't appreciate that scene at all.
Let's skip ahead a little bit. Yeah. Because it's like deceptively big.
Yeah, it's like 440 odd pages. I'm like, damn, how many like tropes and like themes are they going to follow through until...
So, Nate and Stassie go on a little trip. They go and see her parents first.
Yeah, they go to her parents. Because she's, I think, worried about them. Because she hasn't seen them for a year. Yeah. And I think maybe just... Aaron's words are plaguing the back of her mind, like, oh, they don't really love you, they just want you to win them trophies and they can get all the glory from it.
And I think it's really good because I think Nate helped her in this to set a boundary and Jesus Christ, set a boundary.
It's like a parking lot.
Yeah.
Parking lot.
One day we should just do an entire podcast in an American accent.
I would love to do that.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. So she set up a boundary with her parents saying that, like, I don't want to talk about skating this whole trip.
Yeah.
Which is, like, good. And her parents, like, I think they have that conversation. And parents, like, of course we still love you. Like, if you don't want to skate, you don't have to skate. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it. Like,
yeah.
that's fine.
I think she just underestimated their ability to, like, accept the boundary and compromise.
I mean, relatable because I have to do everything right, like, in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenzie.
So I get that. I need approval. I have a story.
You are literally like Stassie, kind of like adopted. You feel like you're not good enough. And it's like, relax.
Yeah. I am always in my head.
On the edge. Like, must make mum proud.
It's okay, the podcast made her proud. She posted us on her Facebook.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, love that. Yay. And also, a note that we kind of forgot to mention, but like whoever's read the book knows she goes to therapy and she's openly talking about that. So we love that kind of mental health side. And I think she does talk about with the therapist about setting the boundary with her parents and all that type of stuff. And it's just really cool. It's just, that's why it's so well rounded. It's just such a good book.
Yes. And then from her parents' house, they go to the Nate's ski shack.
Before
it's a lodge.
Yeah, lodge.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Oh no, this is I wanted to bring something up, but it's probably at the lodge it happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the lodge it happens.
Okay, so then they go to the like ski resort lodge thing, and they have.
I just remembered. I think Nate's dad doesn't really appreciate him because he doesn't want to take on the family business, and he doesn't believe hockey is like a viable kind of sport. Like he has no clue about it. He doesn't watch him. He doesn't. He's unsupportive. Yeah. He just cares about his ski lodge business.
Yeah. So, I want to talk about this.
Okay.
There's a lake. There's a frozen lake outside the lodge.
I love this trope. I don't know if I said. I think I said. Don't know if I forget which book it was.
Let us know.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if I said I liked it or I hated it, and I don't want to contradict myself.
You can change your mind. That's your
right. But like I think I enjoy that type of trope. Yeah. I don't know, but I'm just scared. Yeah. Like that's just scary.
Not that we would ever be in a situation.
I know, but like I'm irrationally scared. Like imagine falling in and then not coming out the same hole.
Fear of like quicksand.
Oh yeah, like you're never gonna be in a situation.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a frozen lake, and Stassie and Nate Stassie.
They have a skate on it. They have a fun time.
So, and then of course she falls through the ice.
But she goes to a different area, and that's the ignorant part.
Also, like Little Women, same thing happened.
Yeah.
5 feet apart.
Yes.
Same thing happened.
Riverdale.
Yeah. So that's fun.
Let us know.
So of course, anytime there's a frozen lake and someone's like, I'm gonna go skating on that,
it's like red flag. Yeah. Yep, always.
Yeah. So Nate saves her life. Fun.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, yeah.
It's like it's coming. Like,
yeah. I think because the tension of the situation, because it's life or death in that moment, like I'm reading really fast, like just because of the tension build up, and I may have missed kind of like the logistics of him pulling her out, but yeah, like it was so intense. And of course she wasn't going to die.
Yeah.
Because even though we're almost like 3/4 into the book, you're like, oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Could she not be fit enough to skate? But she ended up being fine. But cool scene. And of course it had to happen in an area where she wasn't familiar with on the ice. And you just know, like, I loved she ended her paragraph, her chapter, falling in, and then the next chapter, Nate's point of view, it's like he's on the phone, he's like, Stassie, not that area, and then down she goes. Love it. Although, because Anastasia and Henry have a very tight relationship, he seemed to be like very overly emotional about like her being better. Like there's scenes after that incident where she is constantly reassuring him, like, I'm okay now, and I don't know if that's like too much of like attachment issue style, because like we know, like, Henry declares like as a friend, like, oh, I love you and all that type of stuff. What? Declares bankruptcy. So he kind of declares like he loves her, and it's like a bit of a joke because he says it before Nate does. Yeah. But like, and she's constantly reassuring him. They're like, I'm okay, and he's like, you could have died, and it's like, I feel like it's a bit
it's a bit
chill.
Much. It's a bit too much pepper on that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's all I want to say about that.
Yes.
Also, quickly, Nate's dad, he his kind of backstory, the reason why Nate doesn't have a good relationship with him is that he cheated on their dying mum.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And that's not a fun time.
Yes. But, like, did they also have that arrangement, like, in...
Like, I'm
Ugly
going to
Love?
die, you do whatever. You do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
I feel like, would Nate know? Would he have a right to know?
Yeah, no, exactly.
But I reckon he would have had a right to know, because you wouldn't want that perception of you being a cunt.
I don't know, if I was dying, I wouldn't want to tell James, oh, by the way, your dad can fuck whoever he wants. Like,
I mean, when you put it like that, sure.
Yeah.
But, like... But then,
I mean, it could have been a conversation that his dad could have had after his mum.
It could have been a 3-person conversation.
Yeah,
like, look...
If you will.
Because I'm talking in the context of their family. But, like, it could have been like, look, your dad's free to, like, do kind of whatever he wants in the relationship department. Like... I'm not seeing tomorrow, like, let it be.
But also, like, if he wanted to, he could. Because, Luke, if I disappeared for 5 years, would you wait for me?
Sure.
See?
Okay, cool. Confirmed.
Hey, look, I'd love you if you were a worm.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he did say he'd love me if I was a worm.
5 years.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Or... I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Where do we go from here? That's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke, for your contribution.
Reckon I just, like, stood up on him?
Like,
on his arm. He's just carrying me everywhere.
Yeah, just in his pocket.
Anyway, yeah, so, like, also, yeah, have the decency to wait until after your wife's dead.
Maybe,
Yeah.
But obviously that's a different conversation for a different, like, book and all that type of stuff. But in this situation, it seems like Nate was caught
for
unawares.
a different book, there's meant to be 6 books in this series.
This, because I saw Icebreaker being, like, was it, like, a high school series? No, not high school, college. Because, like, in Goodreads, it has
a
the thing...
sapphic one as well.
Okay, 1 second.
That's what I've heard on the grapevine.
On the grapevine.
I don't think it's confirmed, but
okay,
it's on the grapevine.
Because I just want the title of the series, because you know on Goodreads how it's
Yeah, it'll be like blah 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 series.
Subtitle. Yeah. UCMH #1. What's that? University of something?
California?
I don't think they're not.
Colorado.
Colorado. Hang on.
I don't know where they are.
I don't remember where they are. See, when they say names like Colorado or like Maple Hills, I'm like, that's just a place to me. I don't know any distinct...
Colorado. They're in the mountains. What's your favourite pasta shape?
Pasta shape?
Yeah.
I feel like this is a dangerous question. I really like the spiral.
Oh yeah, that's a shape.
But I also like, it's not a shape, but like, it sounds stupid. Like the ravioli style. Like that's a style, not necessarily a shape.
It's square.
That's a shape. It's squared and textured.
Thank you. That is all. No, that's all.
Is this defining who I am as a person?
Yeah, no. I listened to a podcast the other day, and they were just like, your favourite pasta shape says a lot about you. And then I just saw someone saying like, what's your favourite pasta shape? If it's penne, you're wrong.
Oh, yeah, penne. Penne is just big and obnoxious. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, what's yours?
Bow ties.
Oh, the bow ties.
Yeah.
I never knew what they were called because they obviously look like bow ties, but I didn't know they were actually called bow ties.
They're called bow ties.
Yeah, no, very cool. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Icebreaker, allegedly having 6 books, the UCMH series, which, Jesus Christ. I wonder if like it'll be that like crossover where like they'll run into Henry or something.
Yeah.
I reckon there should be a book about Henry.
Surely there'll be one about Robbie as well.
Who like, you know, is able to talk to women and gets the attention of a lot of women and stuff as well. Yeah. Because he's an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you know we're in Mercury retrograde?
Does that explain a lot for you? Does that?
No. I feel like I've overcome the retrograde.
I feel like I always think the retrograde is like a once in every year experience, but it's like every couple months.
It's every couple of months. There's 3.
I underestimate how recurring it is.
Oh yeah, I think there's 3 this year.
Even though we're circulating the space.
Yeah. Space freaks me out though.
Yeah, look, it's just vastness. It's scary.
Yeah.
Who knows what the fuck's out there? There's probably Ice Planet Barbarians out there.
Yeah, all that one with the camera that like took the photos, and it's like on a grain of salt size, and there's like millions of universes.
Oh yeah.
Galaxies.
Yeah, like it's fucked. Like
I'm like, and it's 2 billion years ago.
Yeah, it's like oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Where are the aliens?
If they wanted to, they would.
They would. Where is the avatars?
I keep seeing a lot of stuff about giants recently on my TikTok.
Me
too. I want to go on a tangent.
I do.
I want to steer clear just for shits and gigs.
Yeah.
It was about, I don't know what it's called. It starts with N. The Nephilim or something.
The Nephilim.
Nephilim, that's it. And it's like Nafim. It reminded me of Rafim.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like this giant slab of hieroglyphics.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's like, how did they write it if they weren't giants?
Yeah, and someone was like, watch this disappear, just like all the other stuff about giants.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's insane. The archaeology world these days are like is popping off.
I know.
First
Crazy.
the Cleopatra stuff, and now the giants.
I know.
It's like, what the fuck? Insane. Anyway,
Love
back
this.
on track.
Sorry, everyone.
Maybe we should just start like a side podcast. Talk nonsense. No.
Everything a bit on the internet this week.
Exactly. Pretty much. No. So ultimately, like I feel like Nate and Stassie's. I don't know why I feel awkward calling her Stassie, even though it's her nickname. It just seems like a really forced nickname. It's funny. Her there's a joke in the book. Her parents call her Annie.
Yeah.
And like she makes the joke that they think it's because she's an orphan.
Orphan, yeah.
I also love, now that I realise, Anastasia didn't go down the rabbit hole of like trying to find her birth parents or anything like that. Like, because that seems like a common thing with these types of media, and perhaps even a real life potential stereotype, where like if you're adopted, like it's the one goal in life is to find your birth parents, and like either in a confrontation type of thing, or if you're like just like a meeting and getting to know.
Yeah.
So it's nice that she just kind of kept to herself.
Just got the notification that Ancestry.com has my DNA.
Oh yes.
And they're about to start testing it.
Oh, fun.
So
I really hope you get some really niche
I know.
ethnicity.
I'm excited to see if I get random relatives being like, hey. And I really do hope I get a niche ethnicity.
I really imagine if you're related to someone like super famous that just recently did like that sort of test.
I've got to be related to Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse.
Oh yeah, I always say Saoirse. Oopsie. Saoirse.
So you're hoping to have a bit of Irish in you then?
Oh, I've definitely got some of that in me. Yeah. Or Dutch or something.
You're definitely European.
I've got a lot of white in me.
You're very white. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Ooh.
Yeah. And I burn and then I go back to white. I don't tan.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
It sucks.
Tan.
Yeah, I fake tan if I tan. This is as much tan as I got this summer already.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like James is more tan than me.
Yeah. But to be fair, he is born of South African heritage. Anyway, moving on. Nate and Stassie's relationship, it's just so organic because again, the whole them getting together and her not liking him because he lied about taking the fall for the
team,
the ice rink situation generator, because apparently one of the teammates slept with a girl and the girl got pregnant. Oh, girl got pregnant, but that was debunked. But it wasn't from the ice hockey player. It was from somebody else. Yeah. And so, there was a whole thing, and then Nate took the fall for it, and then Stassie was like, because he just promised Stassie that he didn't know what happened. Yeah. Because they're trying to be friends, meet cute so they can have their ice time. Yeah. And she's like, oh no, I can't trust you anymore because you made this one indiscretion for the sake. It's like, it's a bit too far. Come on. So then, their relationship progresses. Like, they hang out a lot. They share the ice. There is a moment where Stassie, like, the boys are overrunning on their ice practice time, and Stassie's like, I'm just going to fucking skate out there. And she does, and she, like, outruns him, and he just picks her up, and it's just such a funny moment. Yeah. Good
chemistry.
And chemistry. Yeah, chemistry is, like, a very good word to describe it.
They're a very organically written couple.
I would say so, yes. Yeah. And then, obviously, it develops more into, like, a fuck-buddy relationship. Yeah. And it turns into, like she doesn't see Ryan anymore because Ryan's off trying to date Olivia. Mm-hmm. And
then they do date.
They do date, but then Olivia and Ryan don't work out, of course. But then, Stassie and Nate, they just come into a relationship organically. Yeah. It's not like, there's no declaration of, like, will you be my girlfriend? It's like, in a moment, I think, they were with her parents in the restaurant, and her ex-boyfriend worked there. And she's like, oh, this is my boyfriend, Nate. Yeah. And he's like, oh, this is the first time she's used the word boyfriend and all that type of stuff. And then, it moves on to, like, living together because of the Aaron situation. And then, subsequently... 2 years later. Do we want to talk about the 2 years later? Maybe not yet, because I think we still got a couple of things to get through before then. So we have... I'm
just going to open it up on my Kindle.
That's okay. So another big thing, just with Stassie, I know we tried to get Aaron's relationship with Stassie kind of out of the way, but once Stassie found out all the indiscretions and remarks Aaron made against her, she does a big fuck-off confrontation with him, which is girl boss. Love that. And then he's like... He seems to bitch and then piss off for a couple of weeks. Like, they don't really talk it seems like to be his vibe anyway. Like, when he's upset, he doesn't want to talk to anybody. And, like, until he comes back, tail between his legs, kind of, like, moves on. And so this time, he's like, he wants to work things out with Stassie because he regrets what he says and all that type of stuff. Offer, like, teammate couples therapy. So they go there together. That she's trying really hard to, like, fix the relationship because, again, they need each other for their success in ice hockey, first and foremost. But then that causes a tiff with Nate as well because he doesn't believe Aaron's genuine about this. Like, he just sees him trying to manipulate her back into his life. So he doesn't give a shit about her. He doesn't care about her, whatever. But then Stassie's telling Nate that he's not listening, that she knows what she's doing. She wants to be in the Olympics so bad she's willing to put up with all this bullshit. But I'm glad, like, it resolved itself in a very mature way. Because, like, in perhaps a more immature book, it'd be like, oh, fine, then we're not dating. Like, it's the ultimatum, be all, end all.
We talk about, because, Stassie was like, I know what I'm doing, like, let me do my own thing or whatever. And then, she goes to the competition. And at the end of the routine, Aaron kisses her.
Yes. And that's a no-no.
Unprovoked,
And it's something that they've never discussed.
So Nate comes and punches Aaron in the face.
Yeah, that's the only time he ever assaults Aaron, and it is justified.
Yes, which is good.
Which is fun, because I think they had their... I don't think the boys had their championship game, but they had a game, and, like, he had enough time to go over there, to San Diego, and he witnessed it. And obviously, I'm glad he didn't, like, storm the ice afterwards. In an immature book, it would be a dramatic display of the boyfriend coming out and punching him. Like, they waited in the halls. And Stassie was visibly upset, as she should, in her right. And she, in this moment, takes the time to, like, let it go. Like, I'm fucking done. I'm out.
It's good because, like, she's upset or whatever, and Aaron gets punched. But then the coach is like, you can cry about this later. Like, you need to get your shit together because you need to go out there and get your score. And Stassie's just like, okay.
She does that, but, like, she really, And in that moment, like, she kind of quits as well.
She's like, I'm done.
Also, with the sectionals, just real quick, when Aaron dropped her, they still managed to get in. Like, what the fuck? Like, how the hell? I suppose because she didn't fall. Like, they still finished.
They finished the routine.
But and in this one, they were just superb performance. Did she ever do the quad loots?
I don't know what it was. I think maybe.
The one thing, I don't know if she ended up doing it. The one thing that was driving her. So, but anyway. So she, they got her scores, and then she's like, I quit, I'm out of here, fuck off, done. And Aaron is bawling his fucking eyes out like a baby. Like, he infuriates me because he doesn't understand, like, he's written in a way, like, he doesn't understand what he's doing is wrong. And it shits me up the wall, because he's like, and in their therapy, the therapist even calls him out, because he's like, oh, you weren't there for me when I'm going through a stressful time. And it's like, you don't approach her or make time to talk to her and ask her if she has a minute to talk. And so he's using all this passive aggression against her, and, like, the therapist calls him out on it, and I was like, that's a fucking boss ace move.
It's like, you're projecting all of your stuff onto her because you want someone to fix you when you need to work on yourself.
I mean, but honestly, good on him for, like, offering therapy, even though it might have seemed to be a way to be, like, manipulative, getting her back into his graces again, almost. But that was fun. And then in the end, it is revealed that I think Stassie came forward anonymously and reported Aaron for
the damage,
false defamation against Nate, because it turned out, I think, in the hockey game he knew the other team captain. And like, he's friends with Aaron, and then he's like, oh, Aaron injured himself playing, like, football over the holidays or something. And so then it all became resolved. That's the big reveal at the end. And then we have 2 years later. Well, first we have, like, a couple months later. And then, like, I don't know if anything significant happened in the couple months later.
I don't think so.
Let me just have a quick look. 3 months later, Aaron got transferred because of that whole thing. Nate is cleared of wrongdoing. First of all, real quick, I'm really glad that, like, Nate's absence from playing hockey, like, he could have had, like, a Troy Bolton approach where it's like, he's the absolute best on the team. They can't win without him. But they're a good, solid team. And, like, he doesn't kind of use that against Stassie or anything at all. Like, he just accepts his fate, willing to put on the skates to help her out. Like, and it doesn't really impact his future professional career either, which is pretty good, because then that would have just added more drama and we'd have 200 more pages of nonsense. But just glad that, like, he's not, like, the super amazing, talented player.
It's not like Yeah, it's like,
everyone, all eyes on
we
him.
can't do this without him, like, kind of vibe.
Yeah,
like,
no.
no, yeah.
They can win without him. And so we have 2 years later.
Yes.
My initial qualm, there's a pregnancy.
There is pregnancy.
Because as soon as Stassie commented about her swollen feet, I'm like, oh no. But then it's later revealed that within the next 2 years of their life, I guess, Stassie became a gold medal solo figure skater, artist, which is fantastic. And then Nate, with his Vancouver professional team, they'd won the Stanley Cup, which is their, I suppose, ultimate grand final. So my initial qualm was, oh no, pregnancy trope, I fucking hate it.
And I thought, it would be like stop her from like going to the Olympics or whatever.
It's an obstacle. But they both have achieved what they wanted to achieve in life, and Nate says sorry for accidentally getting you pregnant, whatever. But like they've achieved what they've wanted, and like they're ready to kind of like settle down because they have a dog and stuff now as well. And then like he proposes to her as well.
He proposes to her,
so,
which
like,
is fantastic.
It's like a fucking glorious conclusion. So like
it's a nice clean conclusion.
It is clean. Yes, very clean. Like that's all we want.
It's like that's what you do. It's like I want all the loose ends tied up.
Yeah.
I want everyone to have like a little happy ending
Aaron's
or whatever.
Fucked off.
Aaron's
Nate's
fucked off.
Good professional career.
Yeah.
Stassie.
Yep. Lola and Robbie are together.
Career. It's all fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Clean.
Like a nice little package.
Yeah. Beautiful. I can't get over it. Yeah, clean conclusion. I love that.
And like, it's hard when people ask me like, oh, what book have you read and like, can you recommend it? And I'm like, I don't like, I love them, but a lot of people that I know, I'm like, I know that you're not going to like a fantasy book. And like, even with like Colin Hoover, some of them are like hard to get into, but like, I feel like this is a book that I can recommend. I'm like, if you're just looking for like something really fluffy, like you're going on holidays, you just want something to read, like at the end of the night, like I'll probably reread this on holidays when I go away. But yeah, it's like, it's something that I can recommend to everyone because it's so light, it's fluffy. Like
it is, I think, even on the Goodreads, it's described
it's
as
4.5
like,
stars.
Yeah, it's fucking fantastic. It's described as like a fun, cozy book.
Yeah.
Because it has the drama, it has like the smart if you're really deeply into that, but to be fair, I'm not really bothered by it.
Yeah.
But it's there.
Like I think
exploring the nature.
I don't like books as much as like I'm a smut lover or whatever. Like I don't like books that are smut and then a plot built around it sort of thing. I like, this is, again, take a shot for every time I say organically. Like this is just like organically in the plot, and it's like in the trajectory of the way a real life situation would go anyway. Just sprinkled in there. And
as a couple, like they explored their like, I suppose, sexual nature, like what, like potential kinks or whatever. Like there was like a sauce situation about to happen.
Whipped cream
like,
sauce.
Whipped cream. And so like it's just natural progression in a relationship. They're comfortable with each other. They know what each other likes almost.
And also they're adults.
And they're adults.
That's another thing like we have found as well, that I think we've spoken about, that it's hard when we're reading like young adult books instead of new adult books because like they're teenagers, and like I can no longer put myself into those situations.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just so mature. There was something else I was going to describe about it, but I have completely forgotten. Oh yeah, and it's a book where like the actual like descriptions of the sport is not overshadowing anything. There's hardly anything at all. If anything, it's like a couple of pages of Stassie in her competitions, and then that's it. Like it's not sport heavy. It's just fluff and fucking well rounded. I enjoyed it. Once the rest of this series pops
a lot
out,
of comments are like, there's too many characters, but it's like, I think there's just enough. And it's like, there's enough characters and then enough kind of descriptions given about them that you can find a character that you can relate to.
And I think Stassie has a good interaction with all of them as well. Like she's pals with Robbie because Robbie is with Lola. She's pals with Henry because he's just a fucking sweetheart. And there's the joke of like, oh, if Nate never works out, I'll be with you type of thing. There's JJ, who's just like the fun pansexual guy I think she cooks with him. I think he does the cooking. And there's Russ. She calls him Muffin because they had to fake relationship situation for one stereotypical barman. And that's fun. And like everyone genuinely enjoys her company, and she seems like just like a fun person to be around. Like and that's just fantastic. I like that. Because not often you see like the female protagonist have like any interest in like the guy's best friends and all that type of stuff, let alone team. So now that you pointed that out, she does have good relationships with all of them. And I don't think there are too many characters because they're all isolated to their particular
and I think
areas.
Also, if this is going to be the 6-book series or whatever, like, I think it was necessary to introduce all these characters because I think obviously like probably like Robbie and Lola are going to be a book.
Perhaps.
And so, I think it's it was necessary to introduce them because now you have like a bit of their backstory, so you can go into their books already familiar with the characters, so it's not going to be like a shock.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like, as I was just about to say before, like, and all the characters are like isolated to their relevance. So like the ice hockey boys are just with the ice hockey scenes and like all that relevancy in the college experience. Like Anastasia and her family, her parents, they're all, when they were on holiday, like that stays on holiday, bar like a few text conversations or whatever. And then Nate and his dad and his sister, they're all, when they were on holiday again, like they're not too much interconnecting.
The plots aren't like bleeding into each other.
They're isolated.
Yeah, and it reads succinctly that way.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. What did you think about just like the conversation threads? Do you think they were necessarily? I don't know how I feel about like text threads in books.
I don't know. I think because red, white, and I was going to say
overdid
like
it.
red, red, white, and royal
Ever
blue.
since Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, like, I can't think.
I think that was almost a bit too much, but I think I do enjoy the way it progresses a plot without having an actual conversation and without having to describe, I met up with mum in this cafe and she orders this and I ordered that and then we talk about this. Like, it's just quick and succinct and to the point.
Yeah, kind of like, I think, I don't know what, but there's like a conversation like, we got to see the coach tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck, why?
Yeah,
I get that. Very succinct.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yes.
But yeah. I don't know.
I think this is not the first book of 2023, but it's not even our first recording for the
it's a second recording.
This is our first standalone for 2023.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that the vibes are immaculate.
Yeah.
And this is a great way
to
start the standalones for the year.
I get it. And because I suppose we're riding a bit of the high of its popularity cycle so far because a lot of people are recommending it.
Yeah.
I would not mind seeing this into a movie if they do it correctly.
Yeah, like a nice Netflix movie.
It's very well rounded, and the source material's right there. Don't fuck it up. But yeah. No,
or even like a mini series. You could do like a limited series, like a 4-episode.
4 episodes. They're gonna fuck it up. Like Let It Snow and like Dash and Lily.
Dash and Lily was so bad. Well, it's good. I don't know.
I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to
Let It Snow was so bad. Sorry, Dash and Lily was excellent on Netflix.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I look forward to this, I suppose, series of books in this universe in the future.
Yes.
So, Hannah Grace, I think that's her name.
Yes, it is.
Pump them out, baby.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
Get those ghostwriters in.
Exactly. I don't think she needs a ghostwriter.
No.
But now there's like an expectation of all the books that have to be just as good as this, almost.
Yes.
I'd be interested to see like Russ's home life. And like, even maybe Robbie, not Robbie, pre-accident.
I was going to say like maybe pre and then like at the accident.
The accident could be like the pivotal moment.
Yeah.
Because, suddenly not being able to walk and being in a wheelchair is like a huge life adjustment. So it'd be very nice to see his like life progression and emotional progression and from that and accepting that.
Yeah, like journey. But then again, unless she knows someone who's been through that, like I feel like that's going to be difficult to write.
Or she like goes through the proper channels, like perhaps even interviewing people. Like you don't necessarily have to experience it, but so long as you like approach it the right way, she could be able to write something like that. But yeah, just quickly, like who else would you like want seen?
JJ.
Mm-hmm.
Because
for sure. Just
the rep.
Yeah, the rep.
And then I did hear that there was going to be a sapphic one. And was there lesbians in this?
I think
there was.
Oh, there was this obscure character. I think Briar.
Yeah.
There's like Summer. I think there was a joke that Nate always gets rejected by Summer, and I think it's her sister Briar.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, there is a Briar, and I think she did mention a girlfriend or an
ex-girlfriend. Or even like I'd like a 10 years later from this one or something like.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because I think even the doctor joked about the kid being an athlete, and I'm thinking, are they going to go through the pressures that their parents put on them, repeat the cycle?
Yeah.
But I enjoy. Yeah, I'm happy to end it on here. I'm happy with this book.
So thank you for listening, everybody. As always, find us. Instagram's the easiest way to find us. Link is in the bio to our link tree, and that will take you to TikTok, YouTube, Spotify,
all the places.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
No one cares about that.
I care.
You care. It's forever going to be the bit. I'm always going to say no one cares about Google.
So for us, happy 2023. First standalone, rock on, light it up. This year will be a great year.
Yeah, it will be a fucking fantastic year. Love to see it. Yeah. And then next week will be continuing on from Blood and Ash series,
Yes.
A Crown of Gilded Bones.
Yes, lovely.
So keep an ear out for that.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.